Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm Josh Coan.
I'm Carter Burquest.
Today we're talking about the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, that's right. We're talking hockey. I know we don't talk a lot of hockey, but Minnesota is the state of hockey. So let's talk about the hockey team a little bit. They have been making the playoffs, but not winning in the playoffs. So, I don't know, we're happy about that. Did they do enough in the offseason to maybe take that next step and actually win in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the Wild have been very successful the last few years, making the playoffs. I think it's 4 straight years. I have a lot of likable guys on the team. It's the state of hockey. I enjoy watching the Wild. I enjoy following the Wild. But from an overarching perspective, quite honestly, I'm a little bored with the Wild. They haven't really done anything to make me excited over the last few years. It's kind of the same team that continually gets to the playoffs and then loses without really any potential to grow. It kind of seems like we're capped out at where we're at. You're paying Zach Parise and Suter a lot of money, which Suter I think is worth it. Parise at this point, I don't know that he totally is. And I think it's kind of strapped you a little bit. Over the offseason, we kind of went in thinking there's going to be a big move. They fired Todd Fletcher. You think Paul Fenton's going to make a big move, shake things up a little bit. Didn't really happen. I think there's a good foundation there. I think they have potential to be a good team, but I also think they have the potential to do the same thing they've done the last 5 years. And that's a little disheartening as, I don't know, we've seen it already. We kind of want that next step, to your point that we always talk about the Wolves. I don't want a team that makes the playoffs and is there. I want a team that's going to win a championship. We haven't won a championship in Minnesota in my lifetime. I need a championship from somebody. I don't care about the playoffs anymore. I want to win a Stanley Cup. I want to win a World Series, a Super Bowl, an NBA championship, whatever it is. And I just don't know that team can get there. I think they're a good team, but not a great team. I just think it just is what it is.
Yeah, first of all, I do want to give some love to the Lynx fans, to the Lynx team. The Lynx have won championships in your lifetime. You just don't care about the WNBA. So let's get that out of the way. Second of all, that makes me feel really old because I was alive for both of the Twins World Series wins. I was 1 year old when we won the first one, and I was 5 when we won the second one. So I don't really have like great memories of winning those World Series, but I was alive at least for those World Series wins. But you're right. In Minnesota, we're supposed to be happy with just making the playoffs. And the problem is when you make the playoffs consecutive years, and it seems like the Wild, yeah, are they going to make the playoffs this year? They probably will. But is that good enough for this team? Or do you want to see progress? We want to see some progress. It's okay if you make the playoffs, okay, then you win a round, then you win 2 rounds, now you're competing for a title. It'd be nice to see progress. There wasn't a big change like a lot of us thought there was going to be something, especially when you bring in a new GM. We're like, okay, now he's going to blow up this roster and do something completely different. Wild fans probably would have been happier with that if we blew it up and tried something completely different. But and in my limited hockey knowledge, I want to, in a really poor example that people might get mad about, but compare us to the Washington Capitals. Because they were a team that, now they were way better than us in the regular season, and they have one of the best players in hockey right now. I understand that. But they were a team that were great in the regular season, just kept losing in the playoffs. But eventually, they won. And so maybe in hockey, it's just a matter of you put your best team you can forward every single year, and you just hope that you get the puck luck in the playoffs, that your goalie gets hot, and you are able to win 1 year. Maybe that's crazy, maybe that's stupid, maybe I'm naive, I don't know enough about hockey, but to me, maybe that can work. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, in hockey, it just kind of seems like obviously you have to have a really good team, but in the playoffs, get hot at the right time, get a hot goalie, get a few nice bounces with the puck. I think of all the sports out there, hockey encompasses the most amount of luck. Now, it doesn't mean there's not a lot of skill, because I think at the same time, hockey may require the most skill of any sport. But there's just, with so few goals and so many bounces, one thing can make just a huge difference. As opposed to basketball, where you're scoring 100 points in a game, it's tough to just get lucky 7 times in a row to win a series. So I think to your point, get out there. I think the difference between us and the Capitals is the Capitals have a world-class player, like you mentioned, in Ovechkin. Wild, I don't know if that person's there to get you those goals that you need in the playoffs. But I do think they have a good team, just not a great team. I hope that changes. I hope we can find somebody that comes up and really can make a difference. But we'll see.
Yeah, to answer the question, no, they didn't do enough to get me excited to do anything different. I'm just kind of holding out hope that, you know what? We were a good team. We'll probably make the playoffs, and let's try to get some puck luck, I guess, in the playoffs.
For sure.
All right, let us know what you guys think. Do you think the Wild did enough? Can they take another step next season? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.